Hello peeps! Welcome to another Creativerse update video. Creativerse was just updated to R49, the Column Craze. So I figured I would do another update video. So I've been doing update videos for the last several updates. And so let's jump right in. So there's three main parts to this update, and they are greater stability, improved performance, and then obviously adding the columns. So you see I've crafted some of the columns already, and then I have set up a little display over here that we can go through to show all the different columns. So there's 18 new columns. We have the Lumite column, which is made by processing Lumite wall. We have the Corrupted Stone column, which is made by processing the Corrupted Stone wall. A Diamond column, which you would think would be made by processing diamond, but it's actually made by processing diamond glass. It's got that same pattern there, or similar pattern there up on the top of there. We have the Hardened lava column, which is made by processing the hardened lava wall. The Igneous column, which is probably my favorite column out of them. I love the way it looks. And the Igneous column is made by processing the igneous wall. The Iron column, processed by processing the iron wall. The Spiral limestone column, which is from the Spiral limestone column. So now we actually have two Spiral limestone columns, but one's actually a for real column. We have the Straight limestone column, which is made by processing the Straight limestone column. We have the Bedrock column from the Bedrock wall. The Limestone column by the limestone wall, and this one I really like too, and this one is pretty good too, the Bedrock column. But I love the limestone blocks are some of the best blocks in the game. We have the Obsidian column, made by the Obsidian brick wall. The Stacked stone column from the Stacked stone wall. The Yellow wood column by the yellow wood wall, and then we got the blue wood, the red wood, and then the regular wood, and then we have the Thatched column from the thatched wall, and the Shredded leaves column by the shredded leaves. Now to make these, you make them in the processor. When I first logged in to try to make them, I was looking for a recipe for them, but they're actually made in a processor. So you go to your processor and you have any of your blocks that can be made into columns available for processing. So like on a limestone wall now, there's three different options of what you can process it to. You have the original two, which are the slope and the slab, but now you also have the limestone column. So then on a lot of these you just have the one option. I believe they're all processed. Yeah, they all have the same processing time. It's all 10 seconds to make one. So that's how you make them, and they are free to everybody. They're not a download pack or nothing like that. So one of the other the big changes for the performance is that they have upgraded and updated Creativerse to be a 62-bit version now. So now it'll have, what that allows it to do is 32-bit kind of limits the amount of memory a program can use, and 64 is a lot better. So we'll see a lot better performance, and I've noticed it running around Spawn here on our server, on our world. It used to lag pretty good when you went from one claim to the next claim, and now it's pretty smooth. So one other advantage that they've done, based on being 64-bit, is the ability for I don't know if I don't have any blueprints on me, so let's grab a blueprint quick. Okay, let's just grab this blueprint quick. And we're just gonna flop this down here. See if I can figure out. Oh, maybe it's not due that way. Okay, so what it allows us to do now, with having being 64-bit and having more memory available to us, is now when we go in here, we can customize. You can greater view the blueprint in the previewer here. So if you want to customize this, so say we want to swap out all of these igneous walls for the igneous column. It'll update it in real time, and you can look at your blueprint to see the changes. If I could remember the controls for running this thing. But as you can see down here in the floor, you can tell that they're columns now. Let's do like these these blocks here in spiral columns. So actually we'll use bedrock and limestone column. So now you can see that they've all updated to columns, and it updates in real time as you add them to the build. So as you're customizing a blueprint now, you'll be able to see exactly what your blueprint will look like with your different blocks added in. So that's pretty cool. So so we've gone over the columns. Some of the other things that they've added in are, so that's the main things with the performance and stability, and then they have the improvements that they've done are they've done some other various performance improvements. They improved sound loading, reduced entity unloading cost, other minor improvements. They've added I'll save that part for last. So there's one other improvement that we'll go over, but there's bug fixes. So they've improved, they refitted Pumpkero's top hat, so it fits better on the Calavera Cabiza costume, or however you say that. So like, you look at my character has that costume on, and the top hat looks really good now. It fits on there very well. They fixed an issue where multiple flashlight sources could be allocated, which was degrading performance and required multiple toggles to switch them off. They adjusted creature positions so they aren't floating above the terrain. Their server draining messages now appear properly. They fix incorrect stick weapon sometimes appearing on the character equip screen. There's a fix for sign textures. Sign text sometimes not rendering correctly, and a fix for some machine hotspot text not showing. So this is just something I threw together here to show that the columns can be rotated, so you can rotate them in any direction that you want to rotate them. They are basically turnable too, so like you can see, like on some of them, like on the bedrock column specifically, there is a line on the sides of them, and you can put that line however you want it to be. So I believe, like, yeah, let's grab, there's a couple of these other ones that have like lines like that too, so you can rotate that line basically however you want it to be. Well, that one has a line on each one, but this is what that pattern looks like on the diamond one. So I just threw these two things together just to basically give people an idea what they would look like in a build. The columns are the same size of a normal block for their height, their width, and their depth. So they, as you look there, it's a smooth transition right here where the outside edge of the diameter of the column meets another block. So there's not going to be any weird, goofy gaps or spaces on things when you're building, so it'll be nice and smooth. So as you build like a temple or something, now you'll be able to use actual columns to frame in around it instead of using squares. So the other thing that they added was what they call sprites. So their Creativerse sprites were added to arc signs. Use this new tag, which is format sprite icons, and then the text is all included in their patch notes, which I'll link in the description below. And there's different index values and sprite codes that you can put in. And I found a site on the Steam forums by a user named Entulend, and he put together a list of some codes to show all of the sprites. So I'm going to flip this display that I've put out here, which is going to turn on all of these arc signs around on these temporary walls that I built, and we can have a look at all of the different sprites that are available. So in this one, we'll show really quickly the code. So this is kind of what the code looks like. This is the main part of the code, is this sprite equals icons underscore 01, and then the index is the different icon that's available. So what we could do is, let's copy something really quick from here. We'll copy that. And let's go paste that quickly in here just to show you. So we'll increase this size up to like 5, and then we'll hit save, and there is our little sprite. So you're gonna look like I copied, this is number 1, this is number 0. So if we want to put up a, do they have a thing? Right there. So number 23 is a thing. So if we go back into our arc sign, we change this index equals to 23, and let's bump this up just a little bit more, and now we have a thing. And of course you can do all of the other standard codes. Now I don't know for sure if this will work, but let's do offset 2. Yeah, so now it bumps them up there. That's probably a little too high. So there. Now they're not super high resolution icons or anything like that, but that's pretty cool. So I have set up on our server right now all of the different, using the code from Entulend, and I'll link to the forum post where you'll be able to access this code if you want. So you can pop up. There's some really neat icons. Some of these are blank. See if I can find a blank. Like some of the creature ones are blank, like 14. I think that's 13 and 14 are blank. But there's some that are really, really neat that I've never seen basically the item in game, so I don't know where it came from. If it's something that used to be in there, like this icon here. It looks like a hoof. There's like this icon here I've never seen. And then there was some, like these ones right here are really cool looking, but I haven't seen like those. I haven't seen them in game, and not to mean that they're not in game, it's just ones that I haven't seen. And they got different symbols and stuff on them. So what this is going to be cool for is being able to, you could utilize these things for storage, for labeling your storage. So say you have a storage container of wood, a specific type of wood. You can have you can put an arc sign in front of your storage container, and then you can label it with an icon shining up above it in front of it, displaying whichever block you're storing inside of there. So I don't see the different wood textures. See, we have some more over here. So these are all of the textures that the different icons that are available. So I don't see the wood one anymore, but say you have like stalactite and you have a container full of stalactite, you can just have, so this is 732 in 00. So if we go back over to our little arc sign here, so if we change this to 00 for the first set of icons, and we change this to 732, now we have our stalactite icon, and you can bury this below your chest, in front of your chest, and then your chest can sit like basically right behind it. It'll be a cool way of labeling your storage. You obviously can use it in a lot of other different ways too, but that's one of the main ways that I'm going to use it, for things like marking my stone chests. I'll be looking through these to find all of the different textures and icons that I would want. I'm gonna guess, yeah, here it is, that it's by wood. So here's all your different woods available, and you have your windows. So they are alphabetical, but this is the only spot that I've found so far that actually shows like what each one was. I couldn't find any like online pictures. So basically go in and set up, I think I used 11 arc signs to put all of these up. So that should be all of this update. So that is the R49 Column Craze update. And it wasn't a huge update, but they added some pretty cool stuff. And then the biggest thing is the switch to 64-bit, which will make the game run a lot smoother for players. So thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you hit the like button if you liked what you saw, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And I will talk to everybody later. See ya.